Okay, what we've got here is a parcel that has just arrived. Turn the fucking thing around so I can see myself. Make sure we're in the frame and everything. Yep. This is a package that I had shipped back from France, and it'll be of great relief to my very good friend Emery, who he and his wife Paulette came to Europe. We met them in Paris and we went across and enjoyed 5 days in Normandy and then a couple of days up in Honfleur before they flew back to the US, and John and I went on to Berlin. Now, there was one particular item, it's a big purchase that I bought while I was overseas, and obviously always, whenever you're travelling, you're very limited to what you can actually physically tote around because you've got excess baggage considerations and everything else. This, which I'll open with my U-Butte bloody, I don't know what you guys, you fetish for bloody knives you Americans have got. It's a NASCAN, I think I got it in Arizona. Anyway, the traditional YouTube unboxing using a American disemboweling cutlass. Let's get this open. There's a bit of a story to this, which is why I'm doing it. One, it's to show Emery that it arrived back, because I had to sort of leave it in his hands to get the delivery sorted out. Right, let's get this off. Let's get a couple off. I'll try to preserve that if possible. No, it's not possible, fuck yeah. All else fails, brute force and ignorance will prevail. Alrighty. Well, I found a genuine article, World War II waterproof gas mask container, which is what the troopies were wearing on their chests when they landed in D-Day. I got this from Dead Man's Corner Museum, which I'll talk about in a future video. It was absolutely superb. One of the French military shops that I visited, the guy threw in his tripod cover mount for the 30 caliber Browning machine gun. And then we've got a genuine airborne musette bag, World War II vintage, from again Dead Man's Corner. That was a phenomenal museum, and the shop attached to it was just unbelievable. But getting to the main event, Emery and I were in Paris and we were looking for an antique shop which I had visited about 3 years ago. I bought a French Aradine helmet from the Second World War, and I went back to try and find its mate, because there were two helmets for sale, both owned by the same guy, both named, both with papers, and it would have been good to find the First World War helmet because as a set they're more valuable. In the first instance I bought the Second World War helmet only because I had so much excess baggage it was getting ridiculous. We went back to the antique market. It's very close to the Louvre Museum. We stumbled upon it. I've been looking for it and I couldn't relocate it, but we stumbled upon it. It's 2 or 3 floors of the most exquisite antique shops, 1 or 2 of them dealing with militaria, although usually it's Napoleonic era, and they've got magnificent sets of armour, cutlasses, muskets, etc. So I was in there looking around for the shop, and either it doesn't exist or it wasn't open that day. But I did poke my head into a shop selling Napoleonic era stuff and saw in the corner a glass cabinet which had some World War II and World War I militaria. So Emery and I wander inside and have a look at this cabinet, and down the very bottom there was something, it was a bust, a bronze bust facing the wrong way. And I had a look at the haircut and thought, I think I know what that might be. This is what it is. It is freaking heavy. I know it's heavy because we had to carry the bloody thing through the streets of Paris. Now, if anybody's going to get their tits in a tangle about Nazi memorabilia, you better look around now. I know I'm going to have to make another video explaining why I bought this, but here we have it. The great German leader, Adolf Hitler. It's a bronze on a marble plinth. It's the kind of thing that you would have found in government departments, somebody's desk, and there's quite an interesting story to it. I saw this was facing at the time the wrong way, because in France, as in Germany, there are laws governing the display of swastikas and things associated with the Nazi era. They're a little bit sensitive about it with just cause, but I had a look and got the guy to pull the thing out and thought, yep, I'm going to buy this. It'll go very, very well in my display cabinet which deals with Nazi memorabilia, which I'm going to put in the new man cave. It was bloody expensive, but we negotiated the price, and from the same shop I bought a genuine Iron Cross second class, which, if you see my little display case, that's going to go in with the other Nazi era stuff. Now, what was interesting about this was two things. Firstly, once I'd negotiated the purchase price and we'd done the deal, I noticed that the young guy that I was negotiating with, whose English was very good, he was handling the sale, but there was another older bloke standing in the corner, keeping to himself, very quiet. Older guy, grey hair, big ponytail, leather jacket. Big guy, but a little bit sinister looking. Anyway, they said to us, look, if you are collecting this sort of thing, or you want to buy this sort of thing, there's something downstairs I'd like to show you. So Emery and I followed this guy down to the basement, through this labyrinth, down through the to the lift, down to the basement, into the storage area. And there in the corner was one of these things, a bust of Hitler, but it was about that big. It was enormous, hollowed out metal bust of Hitler. And they wanted to know whether we'd be interested in purchasing that. Two reasons. One, that I didn't, was that it was bloody expensive and it was huge. I had no idea how the hell I was going to get back to New Zealand. We went back up to the shop, and the sinister, vaguely sinister guy lurking in the corner beckoned me over. And he didn't have very much English, and I had no French, but he was actually the guy selling this and the other Nazi memorabilia. And he kind of beckoned me over to his desk and then opened a drawer, got me right up close and showed me what he was trying to sell. And it was yellow Stars of David, the ones that the Jews used to have to wear on their clothing to identify themselves as Jews. They were €1,000 per star, and he had about 8 of them. Now, I've argued all the way through, and people have said, why would you want to have this kind of stuff? Why do you want to display it? My argument has always been, it's a historic relic, it goes with the collection, there is no political message, I have no neo-Nazi affiliation or sympathy whatsoever, it's just purely part of the collection. Now, I looked at these Stars of David and my gut just told me that this is not something that I want to be involved in, I don't want to buy it, I don't want to handle it. There was something vaguely sort of pornographic about the guy's approach. So I thanked him and said, no, I'm not interested in buying that. Now, I appreciate that I'm undermining my own argument by saying my gut instinct was that is not something that I'd want to have in my collection. It's not something that I would display. If it came into my possession, I would probably take it up to the local synagogue and give it to them. It just doesn't seem appropriate that that is collected and displayed, and yet people do. And it's a legitimate historic relic. So anyway, I think it was just the furtiveness of this guy's mannerisms that kind of put me off. However, we got Hitler out of the shop and dragged him through the streets of Paris. My arm just about fell off. Then I had the problem of getting him back to New Zealand, and I had to post him back because a few days later we were due to go to Germany. You take this into Germany, you'll get arrested. You have this kind of stuff on your person, you are going to have a lot of explaining to do. They're very, very strict indeed. If you do this in Germany, you go to jail for 6 months. Fair enough. The whole Nazi denazification program thing. It's been going for a long time. They take it very, very seriously indeed, and you have to respect that. But the drama of trying to get this thing packaged up and FedEx back to New Zealand was unbelievable, and I had to leave it with Emery. I was flying out to Berlin. He was in France for another 24 hours, and he sort of oversaw that process of getting the thing shipped away. So thanks, buddy, and it's arrived, and it's going down into the man cave with the appropriate memorabilia. The other things I bought while I was in France was a matching set of German documents for a soldier's paybook, Nazi Party membership booklet with dues payable, etc., and some other documentation. I bought little bits and pieces from Saint Marie Agli, you know, old US foot powder from the Second World War, first aid dressings, body lice powder, dimming material for the gas mask, another genuine first aid pouch, sort of stuff that you're starting to get to as part of the military or equipment side gets fleshed out. Also managed to find a genuine 1945 vintage packet of issue prophylactics. Genuine 1945 manufacture Chesterfield cigarettes. a silk escape and evasion scarf that would have been used by pilots and also the paratroops. Bought this from Dead Man's Corner Museum in Normandy. German mine marker, German dog tag, and a very interesting little booklet on preventive measures, sexual hygiene and venereal disease, as well as camouflage material for a US helmet. I've got a video which I'm in the process of putting all these videos together and putting them up, and I'll show you the Dead Man's Corner Museum. It's phenomenal. The shop attached to it is extraordinary. I've never seen such a collection of genuine World War II issue airborne gear. The guy that runs the museum and the shop, it's a private gig, he will buy 3 or 4 items, keep the best of them for himself, sell the remainder in the shop, and that enables him to afford his collection, keep his collection going. So I'm going to go back to that guy by email and put together a wish list for him to fill for me. I bought some other bits and pieces while I was overseas, little bits and pieces, but the other main purchase, I guess, was I managed to find in Paris. Emery and I went for a walk and found a military shop. Found a telescopic sight for the number 4T sniper's rifle. This is the Mark I, slightly different to the one that I already have mounted on my number 4. But I'm just going to sit on that for a while, and it'll be flicked off in a few years because these things are appreciating all the time. So that was about it as far as shopping was concerned. I bought a few more medals in Czechoslovakia, but unfortunately I lost those when I lost my bag, passport and all the rest by leaving it in the taxi, so I'll never see those again. This video is just to break up the sequence of videos that I'm posting about the trip. There'll be a whole bunch on various museums, a few more of the Mad Irish Tour Guide, and hopefully in the next few days they'll all be up. So wait and see how Hitler looks in the man cave, and I absolutely know I will have to do another video on why I collect this kind of stuff, why it's important to preserve it, and why there shouldn't be a drama with it. But I fucking bet there's going to be anyway.